Totally.
Right over here. Yeah.
Oh, for the trainers, do you believe that the OSHA decision to have the trainers behind barriers is a good one, or do you think that it's okay to have the trainers back in the water?
I think the OSHA decision is a good one. Unfortunately, it doesn't go far enough. The way the OSHA decision was worded, and I don't understand exactly what the mistake was, but it says that the trainers are required to be behind barriers and not get in the water during shows, but it still leaves a loophole for trainers to get in the water during sessions outside of shows, during training sessions. And in fact, we have video that shows that SeaWorld is starting to do that, and they've actually been working with animals and putting senior trainers in the water with the animals. So from my perspective, it's only a matter of time before something else happens.
You know, it breaks your heart, my heart, to see these poor animals in captivity like this. And I think it's like really the dark ages, what they're doing. They may be making trillions of dollars, but it's not only hurting the animals, it's killing people. Do you think it'll ever be banned and that these poor animals will be brought back to sea?
Excellent question. You know, I just feel personally this is a very dated practice. I mean, when you look at it, when you watch the shows today, you just feel like you're back in the 70s or 80s or even 90s. But, you know, today, 2013, I just feel like we have evolved past this point to have animals in captivity for entertainment purposes. And, you know, at this point, what needs to happen is morally they need to stop their breeding program, which right now there's no signs of that stopping. In fact, it's increased since Dawn has been killed. More whales have been inseminated more than they ever have been. And I feel like,
unfortunately, young whales too. They're breeding whales at younger than they would normally breed in the wild, and they're breeding them sooner than they would normally breed them in the wild, which is going to impact the health of their population too.
and the power lies with you guys. Now you have the facts, you're educated, and you can make the decision if you want to pay the $100 and go through those gates and support this practice or not.
Do they outlaw? Oh, go ahead. Have they ever released any whales into the ocean, and do they survive?
Yes, so has anybody here seen the movie Free Willy? Do you know about the movie Free Willy? So Free Willy was about the whale Keiko. Well, actually, it was a fictional story about a whale named Willy, but the whale that played Keiko, the whale that played Willy was named Keiko. Keiko was in a very small pool in Mexico. It was very warm. He was very sick. He was out of shape. He had a virus. By the time the filming was ended, in fact, the producers of the film were seriously worried about his health. And after seeing the film, children all over the country sent in their pennies trying to raise money to free this animal, to get it back out into the ocean. And the producers got other people interested. There were angel investors. Eventually, they got a chiller in the pool, and then they moved him to a better facility in Oregon. And finally, he was taken to an ocean pen kind of situation in Iceland, where he worked with trainers. He was retrained. He got into better physical condition, got very healthy, and he swam 1,000 miles on his own from Iceland to Norway, and he swam with other killer whales. Now, Keiko did die in the wild. However, he had the opportunity to go back and live as a regular whale, which was amazing. I think it took place over about 10 years, and it was a monumental effort. It was incredibly expensive to do, but this is an animal that actually made it. He was at the edge of his lifespan in captivity when they started doing this, so the fact that they were able to do this was a huge success. Now, the captivity industry does characterize this as a failure because he died in the ocean, and some people, even Mark Simmons in this video, has characterized this as the worst case of animal abuse on the planet. So I would let you guys decide. From my standpoint, it was amazing to just see him swimming with wild whales. And so there are animals in SeaWorld's collection and all over the world that are healthy enough to go back out into the wild with training, and there are animals like Tilikum who are too sick and too old. They don't have teeth. They've broken all their teeth. They need to be flushed to keep them from getting sick. They eat 10 pounds of gelatin a day because their digestive tracts are so full of ulcers. They're pumped up full of antibiotics and antifungals, even antidepressants, and they're at the edge of their possible lifespan in captivity. So they wouldn't make it on their own, but they could be, again, in sort of an ocean pen situation, which is a closed-off cove where they were under human care and being taken care of, but they could still experience the natural rhythms of the ocean.